साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णकरुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तु ते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरि वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Thank you, Prabhu, for letting me read the Mangalacharan prayers. Hare Krishna Girish Prabhu, Dhanra Pranam, all goes to Prabhupada. So, Sami Prabhu, can we read Nectar of Instruction 6 onwards? By the way, is this the Girish Prabhu from Pondicherry? Connected to Ayaskan Pandi temple, is it? Or from. Okay, okay. Okay, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. So, this is which verse, Prabhu? Nectar of Instruction 6, right? Alright. Yeah. Can you just zoom in? Okay, no problem. दृष्टैः स्वभावजनैर्वपुषश्च दोषैर्न प्रकृतत्वम् इह भक्तजनस्य पश्येत् गन्धां वशां न कलौ बुद्बुधपेन पङ्केर्ब्रह्मद्रावतम् अपगच्छन् गच्छति नीरधार्मैः. Synonyms: Drishtaihi, seen by ordinary vision. Swabhava Janitaihi, born of one's own nature. Vapushaha, of the body. Cha, and Doshaihi, by the faults. Na, not. Prakritatvam, the state of being material. Iha, in this world. Bhakta Janasya, of a pure devotee. Pashet, one should see. Ganga Ambhasam, of the Ganges waters. Na, not. Khalau, certainly. Buddha, Tena Pankhehi, by bubbles, foam, and mud. Brahma Dhravatvam, the transcendental nature. So you can just. Apagachanti is spoiled. Nira Dharmaihi, the characteristics of water. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Being situated in his original Krishna conscious position, a pure devotee does not identify with the body. Such a devotee should not be seen from a materialistic point of view. Indeed, one should overlook a devotee's having a body born in a low family. Hmm. A body with bad complexion, a deformed body, or a diseased or infirm body. According to ordinary vision, such imperfections may seem prominent in the body of a pure devotee. But despite such seeming defects, the body of a pure devotee cannot be polluted. It is exactly like the waters of the Ganges, which sometimes during the rainy season are full of bubbles, foam, and mud. The Ganges waters do not become polluted. Those who are advanced in spiritual understanding will bathe in the Ganges without considering the condition of the water. Purport. Hare Krishna Lavesh Prabhu, Dhanra Pranam, all goes to Prabhupada. Hare Krishna George Prabhu,
Bhutandat
Dhanra
Panam.
Pranam, all goes to Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Prabhupada.
Purport. Shuddha Bhakti, the activity of the soul proper, in other words, engagement in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, is performed in a liberated condition. In Bhagavad Gita 14.26, it is stated, Mamchayo vyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatityaitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. One who engages in full devotional service, who does not fall down in any circumstance, at once transcends the modes of material nature and thus comes to the level of Brahman. Avyabhicharini bhakti means unalloyed devotion. A person engaged in devotional service must be free from material motives. In this Krishna consciousness movement, one's consciousness must be changed. If consciousness aimed towards material enjoyment, it is material consciousness. And if it is aimed towards serving Krishna, it is Krishna consciousness. A surrendered soul serves Krishna without material considerations. Anya Bilashita Shunyam. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.1.11. Jnana Karmadi Anavritam. Unalloyed devotional service, which is transcendental to the activities of the body and mind, such as jnana, mental speculation, and karma, fruitive work, is called pure Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga is the proper activity of the soul, and when one actually engages in unalloyed, uncontaminated devotional service, he is already liberated. Sagunan Samatityaitan. Bhagavad Gita 14.26. Krishna's devotee is not subject to material consideration, even though his bodily features may appear materially conditioned. One should therefore not see a pure devotee from a materialistic point of view. Unless one is actually a devotee, he cannot see another devotee perfectly. So this is a very nice point, huh? One should therefore not see a pure devotee from a materialistic point of view. Unless. Oh, oh, I think Sami Prabhu just. Who's the
Oh,
host now?
sorry. 1 second. What happened?
You have, I think, stopped sharing and the host has switched, Prabhu. Maybe
Okay, is it
Pranjal
now?
Prabhu can. Yeah, okay, now, okay. Yeah. Hmm. Oh, yeah, here was the point. One should not, one should therefore not see a pure devotee from a materialistic point of view. Unless one is actually a devotee, he cannot see another devotee perfectly. As explained in the previous verse, there are three types of devotees: Kanishta Adhikari, Madhyama Adhikari, and Uttama Adhikari. The Kanishta Adhikari cannot distinguish between a devotee and a non devotee. Prabhu, you can scroll down.
Pranjal Prabhu, please scroll.
Hmm. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Pranjal Prabhu, for scrolling. Hmm. The Kanishta Adhikari cannot distinguish between a devotee and a non devotee. He is simply concerned with worshipping the deity in the temple. A Madhyama Adhikari, however, can distinguish between the devotee and the non devotee, as well as between the devotee and the Lord. Thus, he treats the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the devotee, and the non devotee in different ways. No one should criticize the bodily defects of a pure devotee. If there are such defects, they should be overlooked. What should be taken into account is a spiritual master's main business, which is devotional service, pure service to the Supreme Lord, as stated in Bhagavad Gita 9.30. Apichet Suduracharo Bhajate Mam Ananyabhak Bhak. Sorry. Sadhur eva sa mantavyaha samyak vyavashishto hi saha. Even if a devotee sometimes seems to engage in abominable activities, he should be considered a sadhu, a saintly person, because his actual identity is that of one engaged in the loving service of the Lord. In other words, he is not to be considered an ordinary human being. Hmm. Even though a pure devotee may not be born in a Brahmana or Goswami family, if he is engaged in the service of the Lord, he should not be neglected. In actuality, there cannot be a family of Goswamis based on material considerations, caste, or hereditary. Hmm. The Goswami title is actually the monopoly of the pure devotees. Thus, we speak of of the six Goswamis headed by Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami. Oh, I thought all the six would come. Never mind. Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami. Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami had practically become Mohammedans and had therefore changed their names to Dabir Akasha and Sakhara Malika. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself made them Goswamis. Therefore, the Goswami title is not hereditary. The word Goswami refers to one who can control his senses, who is the master of the senses. A devotee is not controlled by the senses, but is the controller of the senses. Consequently, he should be called Swami or Goswami, even though he may not be born in a Goswami family. According to this formula, the Goswamis were descendants of Sri Nityanandan Prabhu and oh, I said Nityanandan Prabhu. Oh my God, with my
Arriba.
devotee friend Sri Nityananda Prabhu. I just messaged him before this for some service, so that's why. Oh, 11 devotees joined. Oh, Hare Krishna, all devotees. Thank you for joining. Harshit Prabhu, Pranjal Prabhu, Saurav Prabhu, Subham Prabhu,
Oh, what
and
happened?
K Prabhu.
Thank you so much for joining, Prabhu. I
Descendants.
thought only I thought
Hmm.
only Karti Prabhu will read, but 11 joined.
Yeah. Hmm. According to this formula, the Goswamis who are descendants of Sri Nityananda Prabhu and Sri Advaita Prabhu are certainly devotees. But devotees coming from other families should not be discriminated against. Indeed, whether the devotees come from a family of previous acharyas or from an ordinary family, they should be treated equally. One should not think, oh, here is an American Goswami, and discriminate against him. Nor should one think, here is a Nityananda Vamsha Goswami. There is an undercurrent of protest against our awarding the title Goswami to the American Vaishnavas of the Krishna consciousness movement. Sometimes people flatly tell the American devotees that their sannyasa or title of Goswami is not bona fide. However, according to the statements of Srila Rupa Goswami in this verse, an American Goswami and a Goswami in the family of Acharyas are actually non different. On the other hand, a devotee who has attained the title of Goswami but is not born of a Brahmana father or of a Goswami in the family of Nityananda or Advaita Prabhu should not be artificially puffed up by thinking that he has become a Goswami. Hmm. He should always remember that as soon as he becomes materially puffed up, he immediately falls down. Hmm. This Krishna consciousness movement is a transcendental science, and there is no room for jealousy. This movement is meant for the Paramhamsas who are completely free from all jealousy. Paramam Nirmatsaranam. One should not be jealous whether he is born in a family of Goswamis or has the title of Goswami awarded to him. Hmm. As soon as anyone becomes envious, he falls from the platform of Paramhamsa. Hmm. If we consider the bodily defects of a Vaishnava, we should understand that we are actually committing an offense at the lotus feet of the Vaishnava. An offense at the lotus feet of a Vaishnava is very serious. Indeed, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has described this offense as Hati Mata, the mad elephant offense. Hmm. A mad elephant can create disaster, especially when it enters into a nicely trimmed garden. One should therefore be very careful not to commit any offense against a Vaishnava. Every devotee should be ready to take instructions from a superior Vaishnava, and a superior Vaishnava must be ready to help an inferior Vaishnava in all respects. One is superior or inferior according to his spiritual development in Krishna consciousness. One is forbidden to observe the activities of a pure Vaishnava from a material point of view, for the neophyte especially. Considering a pure devotee from a material point of view is very injurious. One should therefore avoid observing a pure devotee externally, but should try to see the internal feature and understand how he is engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. In this way, one can avoid seeing the pure devotee from a material point of view, and thus one can gradually become a purified devotee himself. Those who think that Krishna consciousness is limited to a certain section of people, a certain section of devotees, or a certain tract of land are generally prone to see the external features of the devotee. Such neophytes, unable to appreciate the exalted service of the advanced devotee, try to bring the Mahabhagavata to their platform. We experience such difficulty in propagating this Krishna consciousness all over the world. Unfortunately, we are surrounded by neophyte God brothers who do not appreciate the extraordinary activities of spreading Krishna consciousness all over the world. They simply try to bring us on to their platform and they criticize us in every respect. We very much regret their naive activities and poor fund of knowledge. An empowered person who is actually engaged in the confidential service of the Lord should not be treated as an ordinary human being. For it is stated that unless one is empowered by Krishna, one cannot spread the Krishna consciousness movement over the world. When thus when one thus criticizes a pure devotee, he commits offense, Vaishnava Aparadha, that is very obstructive and dangerous for those who desire to advance in Krishna consciousness. A person cannot derive any spiritual benefit when he offends the lotus feet of a Vaishnava. Everyone should therefore be very careful not to be jealous of an empowered Vaishnava or a Shuddha Vaishnava. It is also an offense to consider an empowered Vaishnava an object of disciplinary action. It is offensive to try to give him advice or to correct him. One can distinguish between a neophyte Vaishnava and an advanced Vaishnava by their activities. The advanced Vaishnava is always situated as a spiritual master, and the neophyte is always considered his disciple. The spiritual master must not be subject to the advice of a disciple, nor should a spiritual master be obliged to take instructions from those who are not his disciples. This is the sum and substance of Srila Rupa Goswami's advice in the sixth verse. Ribo. Any other devotees would like to read?
Oh,
Devesh Prabhu, would you like to read? Or Pranjal Prabhu, Drona Prabhu, Harshit Prabhu? You can read as well. Saurav Prabhu. Okay. Devesh Prabhu is AFK. He is ironing right now. Okay, nobody would like to read, then I can continue.
no way. No way, Prabhu is ironing again.
Yeah. You want to continue or I'll continue, Sami Prabhu?
You can continue, Prabhu.
Okay,
I
but then you
hear
do
now.
one thing. You read the verse. I want to know the tune and everything. I am not sure of it. Okay?
Yat Krishna nama charitadishitapya पित्तोपतप्तरसनस्य नरोचिकानु किन्त्वा दरादनुदिनं खलु सैव जुष्टा स्वद्विक्रमाद्भवति तत्कदमूलहन्त्री.
Thank you, Prabhu. Synonyms. Syat is Krishna of Lord Krishna. Nama, the holy name. Charitra Adi, character, pastimes, and so forth. Sita, sugar candy. Api, although. Avidya, of ignorance. Pitta, by the bile. Upatapta, afflicted. Rasanasya, of the tongue. Na, not. Rochika, palatable. No, oh, how wonderful it is. Kintu, but. Adarat, carefully. Anudinam, every day. Or 24 hours daily. Khalu, naturally. Sa, that sugar candy of the holy name. Eva, certainly. Jushta, taken or chanted. Swadhi, relishable. Kramat, gradually. Bhavati, Bhavati, yeah. Bhavati becomes Tat Gada, of that disease. Mula, of the root. Antri, the destroyer. Translation NOI 7. Mm. The holy name, character, pastimes, and activities of Krishna are all transcendently sweet like sugar candy. Although the tongue of one afflicted by the jaundice of avidya, ignorance, cannot taste anything sweet, it is wonderful that simply by carefully chanting these sweet names every day, a natural relish awakens within his tongue and his disease is gradually destroyed at the root. Wow, Rivo. Oh, give me 1 minute. Huh? I'll just speak to my friend. Come. Sami Prabhu, you read, huh? I'll just get back to you after 5 minutes. I just met a devotee, huh? Just give me some time.
Oh, Haribo.
Thank you. Haribol.
Does anyone want to read, or should I read? Okay, Haribo. The holy name of Lord Krishna, his quality, pastimes, and so forth are all of the nature of absolute truth, beauty, and bliss. Naturally, they are very sweet, like sugar candy, which appeals to everyone. The science, however, is compared to the disease called jaundice, which is caused by bilious secretations. Attacked by jaundice, the tongue of diseased person cannot palatably release sugar candy. Rather, a person with jaundice considers something sweet to taste very bitter. Avidya, ignorance, similarly perverts the ability to release the transcendentally palatable name, quality, form, and pastimes of Krishna. Despite this disease, if one with great care and attention takes to Krishna consciousness, chanting the holy name and hearing Krishna's transcendental pastimes, his ignorance will be destroyed and his tongue enabled to taste the sweetness of the transcendental nature of Krishna and his paramphilia. That's a recovery of spiritual health is possible only by the regular cultivation of Krishna consciousness. When a man in the material world takes more interest in the materialistic way of life than Krishna consciousness, he is considered to be in disease condition. The normal condition is to remain an eternal servant of the Lord. Jivera Swarupa Hoy Krishna Ranityadas. This healthy condition is lost when the living entity forgets Krishna due to being attracted by the external features of Krishna's Maya energy. This world of Maya is called Durashraya, which means false or bad shelter. One who puts his faith in Durashraya becomes candidate for hoping against hope. In the material world, everyone is trying to become happy, and although the material attempts are baffled in every way due to their nescience, they cannot understand their mistakes. People try to rectify one mistake by making another mistake. This is the way of the struggle for existence in the material world. If one in this condition is advised to take to Krishna consciousness and be happy, he does not accept such instructions. This Krishna consciousness movement is being spread all over the world just to remedy this gross ignorance. People in general are misled by blind leaders. The leaders of human society, the politicians, philosophers, and scientists are blind because they are not Krishna conscious. According to Bhagavad Gita, because they are bereft of all factual knowledge due to their atheistic way of life, they are actually sinful rascals and are the lowest among men. Namam dushkritino muda prapadyante naradama maya pahritagyana ashuram bhavam ashrita. Those miscreants who are grossly foolish, lowest among mankind, whose knowledge is stolen by illusion, and who partake of the atheistic nature of demons, do not surrender unto me. Bhagavad Gita 7:15. Such people never surrender to Krishna, and they oppose the endeavor of those who wish to take Krishna's shelter. When such atheists become leaders of society, the entire atmosphere is surcharged with science. In such a condition, people do not become very enthusiastic to receive this Krishna consciousness movement. Just as a diseased person suffering from jaundice does not relish the taste of sugar candy. However, one must know that for jaundice, sugar candy is the only specific medicine. Similarly, in the present confused stage of human society, Krishna consciousness, the chanting of the holy name of the Lord, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, is the only remedy for setting the world aright. Although Krishna consciousness may not be very palatable for a diseased person, Srila Rupa Goswami nonetheless advises that if one wants to be cured of the material disease, he must take to it with great care and attention. One begins his treatment by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra because by chanting this holy name of the Lord, a person in the material condition will be relieved from all misconceptions. Cheto Darpanamarjanam, CCNDA 2012. Avidya, a misconception about one's spiritual identity, provides the foundation of ahankara or false ego within the heart. The real disease is in the heart. If the mind is cleansed, however, if consciousness is cleansed, a person cannot be harmed by the material disease. Hmm. To cleanse the mind and heart from all misconception, one should take to this chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. This is both easy and beneficial. By chanting the holy name of the Lord, one is immediately freed from the blazing fire of material existence. There are three stages in the chanting of the holy name of the Lord: the offensive stage, the stage of lessening offenses, and the pure stage. When a neophyte takes to the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra, he generally commits many offenses. There are 10 basic offenses, and if the devotee avoids these, he can glimpse the next stage, which is situated between offensive chanting and pure chanting. When one attains the pure stage, he is immediately liberated. This is called Bahamavadavagni Nirvapanam. As soon as one is liberated from the blazing fire of material existence, he can relish the taste of transcendental life. The conclusion is that in order to get freed from the material disease, one must take to the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. The Krishna consciousness movement is especially meant for creating an atmosphere in which people can take to the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. Okay, does someone want to continue from this part? Okay, Haribol. One must begin with faith, and when this faith is increased by chanting, a person can become a member of the society. We are sending Sankirtan parties all over the world, and they're experiencing that even in the remotest part of the world, where there is no knowledge of Krishna, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra attracts thousands of men to or camp. In some areas, people begin to imitate the devotees by shaving their heads and chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra only a few days after hearing the mantra. This may be imitative, but imitation of a good thing is desired. Some imitators gradually become interested in being initiated by the spiritual master and offer themselves for initiation. If one is sincere, he is initiated. And this stage is called Bhajana Kriya. One then actually engages in the service of the Lord by regularly chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra 16 rounds daily and refraining from illicit sex, intoxicants, meat eating, and gambling. By Bhajana Kriya, one attains freedom from the contamination of materialistic life. He no longer goes to restaurant or hotel to taste so-called palatable dishes made with meat and onions, nor does he care to smoke or drink tea or coffee. He not only refrains from illicit sex, but avoids sex life entirely. Nor is he interested in wasting his time in speculating or gambling. In this way, it is to be understood that one is becoming cleansed of unwanted things, anatta nivritti. The word anatta refers to unwanted things. Anarthas are vanquished when one becomes attached to the Krishna consciousness movement. When a person is relieved from unwanted things, he becomes fixed in executing his Krishna conscious activities. Indeed, he becomes attached to such activities and experiences ecstasy in executing devotional service. This is called bhava, the preliminary awakening of dormant love of Godhead. Thus, the conditioned soul becomes free from the material existence and loses interest in the bodily conception of life, including material opulence, material knowledge, and material attraction of all variety. At such time, one can understand who the Supreme Person of Godhead is and what his Maya is. Although Maya may be present, it cannot disturb a devotee once he attains the Bhava stage. This is because the devotee can see the real position of Maya. Maya means forgetfulness of Krishna, and forgetfulness of Krishna and Krishna consciousness stand side by side like light and shadow. If one remains in shadow, he cannot enjoy the facilities offered by light, and if one remains in light, he cannot be disturbed by the darkness of shadow. By taking the Krishna consciousness, one gradually becomes liberated and remains in light. Indeed, he does not even touch the darkness, as confirmed in the Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya 22:31. Krishna Surya Samamaya Haya Andakara Yahan Krishna Tahan Nahi Maya Mayara Adhikara. Krishna is compared to sunshine and Maya is compared to darkness. Wherever there is sunshine, there cannot be darkness. As soon as one takes to Krishna consciousness, the darkness of illusion, the influence of the external energy, will immediately vanish. Haribol. Arti Prabhu, are you there?
Yeah, Prabhu, just give me some time, huh? 5 minutes.
Yes, Prabhu, but should we go to the six Shastakam prayers?
Yeah, all right, no problem. We can do the Shikshashtakam, huh? No problem.
Okay. So, Pranjal Prabhu, you need to close the screen sharing and open Six Shastakam prayer from Google and then share it. Okay, 1 second, I'll share it. Oh, you found it. Very nice. चेतो दर्पणमार्जनं भवमहादावाग्निर्वापनं श्रेयः कैरवचन्द्रिका वितरणं विद्यावधू जीवनम् आनन्दं बुद्धिवर्धनं प्रतिपदं पूर्णामृतस्वादनं सर्वात्मा परं विजयते श्रीकृष्णसङ्कीर्तनम् नाम्नामकारि बहुधा निज सर्वशक्तिस्तत्रार्पितानि अमिता स्मरणेन काला एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवन् ममापि दुर्दैवमिदृशमिहा जानिनानुरागः तृणादपि सुनीचेन तरोरपि सहिष्णुना मानिनामानदेन कीर्तनीया सदा हरि
जनम जनम सुंदरी कविता मदगदीश कामये मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भवता भक्तिरहितु विद्वयी।
प्रभु ऐनन्दतनुजा किङ्करं पतितं मां विषमे भवाम्बुधौ कृपया तव पादपङ्कजा स्थिता धूलि सदृशं विचिन्तया नयनं गलदश्रुधारया वदनं गद्गदाहृदया गिरा पुलकैर्निचितं वपुः कदा तव नाम गृहणे भविष्यति युगायितं निमेषेण चक्षुषा प्राविर्ष्यायितं शून्यायितं जगत्सर्वं गोविन्दविरहेण मे
आश्लिष्य वा पादरतं तनिष्ठुमाम् अदर्शनं मर्महतं करोतु वा यथा तथा वा वृथा तुलं पटो मत्प्राणनाथस्य स एव न परः।
Haribo, glory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of repeated death of fire of where this fire of repeated fire of conditional
Exactly.
life of
Yeah.
repeated birth and death. The Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious.
O my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings, and thus we have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. These in these transcendental names you have invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. Oh my Lord, out of kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names, but I'm so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them.
One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. Almighty O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers, only what you cause this devotional service, birth after birth. O Son of Maharaj Nanda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor. Somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. O my Lord, when will my spirit be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up, and when will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your name? O Govinda, feeling your separation, I'm considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I'm feeling all vacant in the world in your absence.
Yes, bro. I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he handles me roughly by his embrace or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He's completely free to do anything and everything, for he's always my worshipable Lord unconditionally.
Haribol. First offense to the holy name is to blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name. Second offense to consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma to be equal or independent of the name of the Lord Vishnu. Third offense to disobey the orders of the spiritual master or consider him as an ordinary person.
Fourth offense to blaspheme the Vedic scriptures or scriptures in pursuance to the Vedic version. Fifth offense to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination.
Sixth offense to give some interpretation to the holy name of the Lord. Seventh offense to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name.
To consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the spiritualistic activities which are offered
Haribo.
in the, it's not full, ne, Prabhu, which are offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities, karma kanda.
Hare Krishna Lebang Prabhu Dandat Pranam Jai Shila
And
Prabhupada.
offense to instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name.
Oh, Lebang Prabhu, you have the last one.
Oh, to not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachments even after understanding this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnav must guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success, Krishna Prema.
Let us offer humble obeisance to all the Vaishnava devotees who are dedicated, who are just like desired trees, who can fulfill all desires and are full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls. Vancha kalpatarubhya kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Jai.
Nanda Gaudiya
Thank you so
Vaishnava
much,
ki jai,
Prabhu.
Sab Prabhupada ki jai,
Jai.
Nitai Gaura
Jai.
Premanande, Hari
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 Bol.
Bol. Sorry, Swami Prabhu had to go in
Thank you
between.
so
Actually,
much.
I met
Thank you
one
so much,
friend
Prabhu.
and he wanted to come to temple with me. So I just was just trying to give him some
Yes,
ideas
Prabhu.
on how we can
Yeah,
come.
thank you so much for starting this session. It was really
No, no,
nice.
no. Thank you very much, Prabhu, for the session. It was very nice. And we have ended before 9 p.m. So on Saturday, which is tomorrow, we have to read from verse 8 onwards, right?
Yes, Prabhu.
Verse 8 onwards. 8, 9, 10,
So,
11. 4 verses.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's easy.
I think we can do it in about 1.5 hours. Should be
Yes,
possible.
Prabhu.
So
Yes,
tomorrow
thank you
we'll
so
start
much
at
for
about
invitation,
6:30
Prabhu.
sharp,
Yeah,
and by about
6:30.
8:30 we will finish. And then if we finish before 8:30, then we'll spend about 5-10 minutes at least going through the translations one more time. And
Yes,
then
Prabhu.
so thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Sami Prabhu, especially for hosting this session
Thank you so much,
despite your
Tade
busy
Prabhu.
schedule. Thank you for this very
No
nice,
problem.
valuable service. Thank you all devotees
so
for reading. Thank
Prabhu,
you, Pranjal Prabhu, for scrolling. Thank you,
Thank
Lavesh
you,
Prabhu,
Lebang
for your
Prabhu.
presence.
Haribo,
Haribo,
13
all the best
people
to
joined
Prabhupada.
Yes,
today, Prabhu.
Prabhupada.
What's happening?
What, Prabhu?
I was saying 13 people joined. What's happening, Prabhu?
Yeah, it's Pranjal Prabhu many times.
Oh.
But yes, it's
But I
really nice
think,
to see new persons like Shubham Prabhu and Kirish Prabhu and also Drona Prabhu now coming a lot. So it's really nice. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
oh yes, Haribo, Prabhu.
Thank you also, Vivek Prabhu. Haribol. See you tomorrow, Prabhu.